Hello, this is me, Nicholas, also known as Franz the Executioner. In this video, I'm going to be debunking myths and some misinformation you people might be hearing about torture methods throughout the Middle Ages, online, on YouTube, wherever you're hearing this stuff. Disclaimer, I specialize in this topic. I've studied this topic since I was 9 years old. I also teach classes, perform mock executions, do educational demonstrations, talks, and I do historical reenactment. I do this for a job and a hobby. So I know my stuff. If I didn't know something, I would say it. So let's get started. The first method that is not accurate and is basically ancient propaganda is the Iron Maiden. The Iron Maiden, basically a coffin with spikes in it, was made up in the 18th century to make the Middle Ages look worse than the 18th century. So they basically painted their ancient predecessors as monsters, wanting to make their era look better. Basically, that's what it was. So after the guy basically described the device, saying a coin forger was executed in Iron Maiden, said it happened all the time, didn't, then people started making them. So that's why they exist. And that's why we have them in museums today. And just to let you know, coin forgers were never killed in Iron Maidens. They typically were either boiled to death, hung, beheaded, or burnt alive. Some were filleted depending on the region that prisoner was in. They were never killed in Iron Maidens. The second method, actually it's two. And the second two methods I'm going to talk about are the brazen bull and scaphism. And scaphism, aka the boats. Brazen bull is basically that bronze bull statue with a fire lit under it. You burn a prisoner alive. It never happened, but that's what it was. The boats is when you put two boats and enclose the prisoner between two boats and put them out in stagnant water, feed them milk and honey mixture, and they get eaten alive. Basically, to sum it up, those two methods were not historically accurate methods that were used. They were both, again, ancient propaganda told by Greek philosophers. For example, Plutarch, who is known for making other regions that he didn't like look worse than his own at the time. And you got to consider where the source is coming from. You really have to, even with low faith in humanity. Because, you know why I say that? The accounts of those stories, the one with the brazen bull in ancient Sicily and the one with the scaphism in ancient Persia, both of those regions the Greeks were enemies of those regions. Also, there's only one account of each. One account for the brazen bull, of it even ever happening, and one account for scaphism, if it ever happened, and it did not. It did not. Otherwise, we would have other writings, other proof of this happening, other than someone in another region saying that this happened. So take that with a grain of salt when you hear that and someone pushing it as fact. The next one, the fatal walk and the blood eagle execution methods. Both of those, the blood eagle is basically sum it up when the executioner pulls out the victim's lungs and put them over the ribs, and then make it look like a bloody eagle, basically. Then the fatal walk was when someone would walk around a tree and disembowel themselves. Both of them never happened. Both of those methods were mentioned in Norse skaldic poetry. It's a fictional, poetic writings from the Middle Ages, and it's basically Norse mythology. It's not real. It may be based on real people, but it's not historical fact. It's poetry. It's meant to invoke feeling. It's meant to... there is exaggerations in poetry, no matter what poetry it is, especially if it's about history or people in history. So, both of those were not accurate methods, and I think that in general, be careful of who you're watching on YouTube. Be very skeptical of what you believe online and what you believe YouTubers say, other than if somebody specializes in a topic and is not using fully AI-generated content to push out historical facts. Facts, I say loosely, because some of these people don't give facts. They give misconceptions. Just take it with a grain of salt. Especially if a content creator is pushing historical misconceptions, and if someone corrects them politely in the comments, and they ignore them or just let them keep doing, that's rage bait. Don't bother, move on. Just leave that person, because they're never going to change. They're too ignorant to do the actual research, and it's sad. I don't like it either, but I learned that just to stop wasting my time. In general, I'm trying to educate and trying to help people know the accurate truth and what is actually truth and what is not. So like, subscribe, leave a nice comment, and you guys have a wonderful day, everyone. Peace.